So I want to do a video today on how I'm making my Florida water. Now, this is the Florida water that you all may very well know. It's by Murray and Lanham Florida water. And it's used a lot in hoodoo practices, voodoo practices, Wicca, a lot of different things, Santeria. And I personally use it for offerings. I use it to cleanse myself prior to going into ritual. And I also use it in my floor washes and to just clean my altar space. So I figured I would make my own because these little bottles are pretty hard. No, well, they're not little bottles, but they're pretty hard to come by where I am. And when you do come by them, they're like $6 a bottle. So I figured that I would make my own. So I'm going to show you guys the ingredients that I'm going to use. Here are some recently dried lemons that I dried myself. Some baby red and white roses. Some dried orange peel. That is actually not cinnamon. This is optional. These are pine needles. This is patchouli. You want to take it easy on the patchouli though, because it can be quite pungent. A little bit of lemon balm. Those are some other dried fruits that I have. Some lemon balm, some lavender, and some jasmine. And basil is also optional. Food coloring is optional. I'm also going to use some cinnamon stick and some clove and cinnamon essential oil. I'm personally choosing to use 91% alcohol instead of 70%. It's just a personal preference. You can use whatever type of alcohol you can get. So I'm going to open my bottle, my jar I should say. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand. So basically what you want to do with each of your ingredients is you want to individually pray over them, chant over them, and just charge them up. I did that prior to me actually turning on the camera, so we're just going to go ahead and get started. And I'm sorry for all the shaking and just the bad angle, but I'm doing this while I'm in bed. So we have our jar there. I'm going to go ahead and add my orange peels. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and separate these up a little bit. Okay, go ahead and drop those in. Okay, get our lemons. Okay, this is the patchouli. I'm not adding too much of that because I don't want the scent to be overpowering, as well as just a little bit of lemon balm because we already have the lemons in there. Our lavender and our jasmine. Oops, I am making a mess. Smells really good. And you could use fresh flowers, fresh herbs. This is what I have on hand, so this is what I'm going to use. I'm not really feeling too drawn to add the pine needles or the basil, but I am going to add a cinnamon stick just to kick up, add a little bit more punch. Alrighty, and some clove oil. And this is 100% pure from Now. And I'm actually going to add just a few drops of this too because clove oil is very strong. So if I can get it to come out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. And some cinnamon oil as well. about. Okay. Smells so good. So I'm just going to put the top on this before I actually add the alcohol to mix everything up a little bit. Okay. You can also use cascadilla, but I don't think I'm going to do that today. You want to smell it a little bit. See if you like the scent of it. Yeah, that'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and add my 91% alcohol. And hopefully I can do this without making a mess. Okay, so I'm just going to sit that there. I don't feel safe. I don't trust myself. Sit that there. And slowly add the alcohol. I'm going to do enough to cover up. Ooh. Okay, so grab that before it falls, and I'll be right back, you guys. Okay, so I'm back, and I actually tweaked it a little bit off camera. I went ahead and added some more lemon balm and actually more patchouli, as well as more cinnamon oil and clove oil, and I actually added some dried apple as well. I don't know why, I just felt led to do that. So, and it may not be your traditional Florida water recipe. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have your own. This is just what I felt led to do as far as mine, and what I feel like is going to work. I did not add the basil, and I still did not add any of the pine needles. I was going to use some food coloring. I was actually going to use blue, so it'll just slightly traditional. As you can see, this Florida water is like a greenish color, but I actually like the way it looks in its pure state without the food coloring. It's very pretty. Sorry for my mess in the background, but yeah. So I'm actually going to let this sit for I would recommend like a minimum of 2 weeks, but I'm going to let it sit for as long as I can, possibly until I see that everything has floated to the bottom. A good way to tell when lavender is done is when it becomes translucent and kind of see-through, as well as with the jasmine. So I'm going to let this sit for as long as I can, shaking it periodically. I know it's not filled all the way to the top. I may add some more alcohol tomorrow. I'm not really sure. I'm not really too concerned about mold or anything, because this isn't an oil. This is actually an alcohol, so it's it's a preservative within itself. So maybe I'll add some more alcohol later, or not. I really want a very strong batch of it. So with that being said, I may leave this amount of alcohol in here, just make a very strong batch of it. And what I'll be able to do at that point is bottle it up, and I can add it to more alcohol later in separate containers and actually stretch it. Yeah, like that, or use it in its purest form. But yeah, so no food coloring. That is just very pretty. It's very gorgeous. The alcohol was